All right, so let's do this. Hey, Ryan. How's it going? You are in South Florida, correct?
Yep. About 20 minutes west of Fort Lauderdale in a place called Parkland.
Yeah. And so you're going to be one of our storytellers for Buddies of Stories number 6 within the 24-hour True Storytelling Festival. How have you told stories before on stage?
I have quite a bit, actually. All over New York, LA, Montreal, down here in South Florida.
Yeah. What brought you to it?
Well, I took a storytelling. Well, let me back up. I've always loved telling stories. Ever since I was a kid, I would just rant. I love to talk. And when I was in college, I took a storytelling class, and the only objective was you had to tell a story each class. And I ended up just talking crap about my friends and our misadventures, but I loved it so much that I took the class again after I graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then from there, tell us about your first time on stage, at a show.
Well, first time on stage was at a place in New York City called Cornelia Street Cafe, which is not there anymore. And I read poetry, really bad adolescent poetry.
The only kind you can write when you're an adolescent, right?
Yeah, it's probably just like, I'm sad, very emo.
Yeah. And so you are also a poet and a writer. And I see there's something written on your shirt. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I got two, but here, let's start with that. Yeah.
Okay. What's Coyote Blood?
Coyote Blood is everything. Coyote Blood is weird, a collective of weird art for art's sake. It's just something that me and my friends created in New York to separate ourselves from our weird art. And it's also an excuse to go over the top and push buttons a little bit, and then not have that personally associated to the artist itself or themselves. And Coyote Blood, I guess what you would say, it's a brand, it's an artistic brand.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people are in the collective?
Oh, how many people know they're in the collective? Probably like 10.
Yeah. When was that? Sorry, go ahead.
Say again?
I was going to say, when was that born?
In 2006. And there's a funny story behind it. It's very convoluted, but I was in a house band for a comedy club in New York City, and we needed a name, and so we chose Coyote Blood, and we just thought it was so good we kept using it. And then we started tagging it around New York City and making stickers, and it kind of evolved from a joke into something that I can't believe other people are using it and writing it. Just Google it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put the link down below. And you are wearing another shirt, which also tells us a bit about your world with storytelling. So tell us about that.
Raw Storytelling, yeah. So Raw Storytelling is a storytelling collective in Fort Lauderdale, run by this lovely human being named Eden Nolasco. And it's just an amazing community of storytellers. And it's a monthly show, of course, not during Corona times, but it is literally my favorite artistic outlet. No joke.
Mm. So what do you do with them? Is it just that you tell stories with them, or you also have a role
Just, I guess, brand ambassador. I don't know if that's official, but I believe in it so much that I share it, and I'm happy that it exists so much that I'll help Enid and the whole crew kind of just blast the word. I've told multiple stories on stage there, and the turnout's great. Every month has a theme, and so it's constantly evolving. And it's just, I don't know, it's like this. It pushes you to be a better storyteller, writer, speaker.
Yeah. So for those of you who are watching us, I interviewed Enid Nolasco, the founder and host of Raw Storytelling, a few weeks back at the beginning of the lockdown. And we went into her process with the storytellers and just how she works for the show, and it's pretty cool. So go ahead and watch that. And she has not yet done an online show because she has focused on her podcast, which is also amazing, where you can find the recordings of the show. But she will be doing a live show online as part of the 24-hour True Storytelling Festival as well. And it will be, if I recall correctly, a compilation of the best stories told over the years, but with, I guess, a fresh look by those storytellers. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm so glad about those connections, between different shows. It's rad. Yeah.
That's how I found out about this, is through Enid. So
cool. The wonderful world of Instagram can lead to good things.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. Anything else you want to tell us? Oh, I want to ask you, so you sent me your story. Mm-hmm. Without revealing, everything about it, you told me that it was a bit of a different kind of story from the stories you usually tell. How so?
This story, for lack of a better explanation, is the most honest and unmerciful thing I've probably put out there into the world, or will put out there into the world. I do a good job hiding behind metaphor and humor. I try to incorporate humor into a lot of storytelling. So this one didn't really allow for it at most times. It's dark, and it's about resilience and breaking the odds. So it almost did a disservice to try to make it funny.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, your story spans over many years, and for me, it's the kind of stories that are the hardest to write and that are the most interesting to me. Don't tell anyone. Yeah, so I'm very excited for people to hear it. For those stories, there's usually quite a bit of work because there's so much we want to put into it, right? It's pretty hard to sum up years of life, so I'm pretty excited about people hearing your story. It's one of the hardest stories that will be in the hour of Bodies of Stories, but I do want to hold space for those. So yeah, and you are, being a writer and a poet and having your experience as a storyteller, there's this background that makes it pretty compelling.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the 24-hour True Storytelling Festival is on June 13th and 14th. Online, you can check out Replay Storytelling, which is the founding organization of the festival in Toronto. So Bodies of Stories will be on the Sunday, June 14th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, you can watch from anywhere in the world. Anything you want to add?
No, yeah, that's it. I'm so happy to be here and be a part of this. So thank you and to the team, and I can't wait. Tune in.
Yay. See you then. Thanks, Ryan.